What is up guys, Andy Forrest Team Runner here, and today I'm giving you guys my first impressions of the Hoka One One MACH 4. That's 11 miles in total over 2 different runs, an easy run and a moderate run for my first impressions of the Hoka One One MACH 4. Today we're going to be going through, as I said, my first impressions and of course the technical overview of this shoe. Super excited to share my thoughts, early days but far more testing to come with this thing. If you're excited for today's video guys, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and we'll start with the tech. We'll start as always with the stack height. We have a 29mm stack height in the heel, 24 in the forefoot, meaning we have a 5mm heel to toe drop. I went true to size, UK 13.5 in Hoka, as I always say with Hoka shoes, and Adidas and other ones that do half sizes. When it gets to my size, I have to go half size up because I don't do a 13, but in effect it's true to size in their brand, and in my size it comes in at 284 grams or 10 ounces on the nose. And as always with the technical overview, we'll work our way from the heel around the ankle collar area, down through the laces, the tongue, talk about the engineered mesh upper, the midsole, and then of course the outsole. So we'll start in and around this area. This is an anatomically shaped heel, which is a posh word for a heel flare in my opinion, but I have to say your heel does slip in rather nicely. It is kind of very easy to get your foot into this shoe. And the one thing I'll say straight off the bat, really I should save this for the first impression section, but I think Seth Damore got us all hyped for this shoe when he tested it out and said basically the fit on this shoe is absolutely incredible, and I can confirm the fit on this shoe is absolutely incredible. He was not far wrong. I have no idea of our foot shapes. We're obviously completely the opposite end of the spectrum. He has hobbit sized feet compared to me, but I have to be honest with you, it fits like a glove. So this ankle collar area, again, it just works really, really well. Perfect combination of not too much cushioning, but enough cushioning to feel comfy in such a lightweight package. Again, that standard bumper padding we expect to see in a lot of shoes around the top, but when you get down the bottom here, it gets a lot thinner. A rather stout heel counter, not a lot of movement going on there, just a bit of reinforcements in and around the back here. It doesn't go on for long, it starts to flex in and around here. We have basically this curve of sort of plastic, should we say, that goes behind the scenes. You can't see it, but it just holds the heel in nicely. A nice medium plush tongue, not too thick, not too thin, gusseted or elastically attached either side. Not fully gusseted, as in runs from all the way at the base of the tongue to the top, but I don't know if that's what you call semi-gusseted, just a thin couple of inch strip, elastic there and there, as you can see from the overlay footage, to hold the tongue and give you a lovely feeling, especially with this no frills lacing system, which locks down an absolute dream. And perfect length laces as well, not too short, not too long. You could use the runner's knot hole, the extra hole eyelet chain if you wanted to, that's there. The laces aren't too short for that. So just that first section of the shoe, the ankle collar, the heel flare, the tongue, the lacing, just works really well. Moving on to the engineered mesh upper, it's breathable, it's very lightweight, very nice. And I have to say, direct comparison straight away, this is more of a Rocket X shape than a Rincon shape. It's certainly a little bit wider in the toe box, which suits me down to the ground, because I did find the Rincon 2 a little bit too snug. I have not found any issues with width in this shoe yet. Yes, we all know Hoka shoes are renowned for being a little bit narrow, but this one, on the whole, the Rocket X works really well for me. I find it a little bit wider, and this follows a very similar pattern for me. It's just a bit wider up in and around the toe box area, Not massively wider, but enough to make my toes not feel like they're curling over each other. So that's great, and lots of depth in the toe box as well, so you're not too scrunched up in there. So overall, really happy so far. Moving on to the ProFly midsole, again used in the Carbon X2, the Rocket X. It's just a really solid midsole. It's not a world beater midsole, it's not up there with the Zoom X's, the flight foam blasts, the fuel cells, but it's a good one. It's a really good one. I think when Hoka introduced it a while ago, it was kind of like, oh, this is better than their standard EVA that they were using in some of their shoes. We do have a standard EVA rubber outsole, which is on the outer here. It looks like a dual layer midsole. Effectively, that's this section here, but this darker yellowy color is the ProFly midsole. And as I said, we have a ProFly, we have an EVA midsole. Oh my goodness, I'm getting my words all mixed up. ProFly midsole, EVA outsole, which looks very standard to a lot of other, very Rincon-esque, to be honest with you, outsole patterns, slightly different, but in essence, very similar. A complete lack of what I would call outsole rubber that we've seen on some of the other shoes. And again, that's just another reason why this shoe is so lightweight. So on to my first impressions. How did I find this shoe? Has it lived up to the hype? Well, straight off the bat, I'm gonna say more testing is required for me. I did an easy run in the shoe. It felt good, it felt solid. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, there's been a lot of hype built up around this shoe, and I was really quick off the block thanks to an Instagram follower who messaged me. If you're watching, thank you so much, and said they're out, I got them, paid for next day delivery, and they turned up really quickly. So I was very happy with the easy run, but I knew that the easy run wasn't going to be this thing's strong point. So that's why I waited and delayed the video to get another run in at a moderate pace. Picked up the pace a little bit, and it shone a little bit more. And that's what I mean, and I think there's going to be more testing required. I think this thing is going to be far better at that moderate pace and beyond. Some marathon paced intervals, I think it's just going to excel there. It's a great easy day trainer, don't get me wrong, loads of cushioning, lightweight, lovely and poppy. Got that early stage meta rocker around here. Typical Hoka sensation, just gliding through. The one thing Hokas don't do well, in my opinion, and again this is just my opinion, I had some 200 meter repeats to do at the end of my moderate run, and I do struggle with the much faster intervals in these shoes. I feel like the gliding sensation you get from a Hoka due to the early stage meta rocker, which just glides your foot through the foot strike, does take away from that, not pop, because this shoe has a nice pop in spring in the foam, but it just takes away from that snappiness, I think is the word I'm looking for. So it's very much a smooth running shoe. For me, I think this thing, as I said, is going to excel marathon pace stuff, half marathon pace stuff. So I'm excited to take this thing on a longer distance proper speed workout next week, and of course I'll do a video on that, and of course we'll hit the long run test with it, so we'll combine that as a video, and that'll be in a couple of weeks time, because this weekend we have the half marathon time trial, so next weekend we have a 2.5 hour long run, and this thing will get the nod, and we'll see how it does with the duration. But overall, firstly and foremost, the fit is to die for. It is a brilliant fit. As Seth said, the lockdown, the feel, it works really well. So massive 10 out of 10 there, cannot fault it for that. In terms of the ride, it's good. It's good / great. It's an 8 out of 10. It's not quite that endorphin speed, that Nova Blast, you know, that thing that got me and gets me really pumped. But overall, this is the best Hoka shoe that I've tried in a very long time. And I think if Hoka can do something more with this style of shoe, I feel like the Rincon 2, although even more lightweight, was just too narrow for me. This feels a lot better, and I think, I hope that in future versions they can kind of build on this strategy, this foot shape. I think the Rincon just ended up being too narrow, and this is what I wanted a progression of the Rincon to be. If I'd have seen this as an update to the Rincon, I'd have been very happy, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit heavier than the Rincon, but either way, it's a very comfortable shoe. And in terms of durability, we all know Hoka's aren't the best for durability. I'm hoping that this kind of dual layer midsole, although it's not dual layer, the ProFly and the EVA, the combination is going to mean it lasts a lot longer than something like the Rincon. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get 200, 300, 400 miles out of the shoe. Obviously, we'll have to see how it goes, but overall, very, very, very promising early signs. The best shoe I've bought so far in 2021. I know that's not hard with the Vomero and the Carbon X2. Well, actually the Carbon X2 was pretty decent, and the Adidas Solar Boost 3, but this is a bit of a shining star so far. Really looking forward to testing it more. Loads of you have been excited about this review. I've been excited to test this shoe, and I know a lot of you guys have picked the shoe up yourselves. So of course, as always, what I'm going to say is let's get that discussion going in the comments section below. Let me know how your first experience is with the Mach 4, how you find it and how you think this shoe is going to really, really excel. As I said, I think I know where it's going to excel. The long run test will be interesting. I think the breathability is there for it. It's just how the foam holds up over the distance. And in terms of speed, I think that's where this thing is going to absolutely shine. Early start, promising signs. Very, very happy. Long may it continue. Fingers crossed this will become a staple in the remaining marathon training series, and then of course leading into summer training. Who knows? We'll have to see. Let me know, as I said, in the comments below how you think the Mach 4 is going to perform for you, how you've enjoyed it or not. Let me know and let's get that discussion going. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.